All right, good morning, class. It's Jonathan. Hope you're having a great week. Today I'll be talking about mine and Tiffany's lesson plan that we constructed together. After the workshop that we had with Professor Ginsberg, we found that there were a lot of areas that we needed to improve on, specifically the scaffolds, as well as the physical education EdTPA language and vocabulary that we were incorporating into our lesson plan. So the first area that I want to talk about is the assessments. So one mistake that we made is that we weren't listing if it was an informal or formal. We also weren't being specific as much. So here's one example. We had just listed group and class discussion, but we needed to be more specific as far as how we were going to understand if our students were learning. And so one way is that we were going to ask students to raise thumbs up or thumbs down for responses to see if they're understanding the content into which they're learning. The next area that I want to talk about that I found very important was here was a lot of the language that we got from our EdTPA: analyze, summarize, compare, and evaluate. This is the language that the EdTPA for physical education wants us to incorporate into our lesson plans. So initially we did not have this, but after careful review of the EdTPA, we found it and was able to incorporate it into our language function and our academic vocabulary. So this was some of the vocabulary that students may not be familiar with. So we incorporated that into our additional language demands. And then coming down here, we didn't initially break it down into minutes as far as which, giving us kind of a guide of how long we want our students to be doing a particular activity. So we broke it down here. And then this is where was most important to us was improving our scaffolds. So one of the scaffolds we did here was to modify worksheets. We'll have word banks to accommodate EL students or word bank listed on whiteboard. So something for students or EL students to pull from to use in putting their poster together. And then also ask students to complete the worksheet. The teacher will be walking around asking questions, checking for understanding. So in case a student is maybe too shy to ask in front of the class, the teacher will be walking around individually asking students if they need any help. One of our other scaffolds here that we listed was models of past students' prior work will be displayed in front of the classroom students to reference. So maybe last year's work, laminating it and then using it as a model for students to refer back to so they have a good understanding. And then as students complete their poster, the teacher will be walking around again, asking questions, checking for understanding. So I think one huge one was just giving that a display up on the board so students understand, okay, this is what we as teachers want in the assignment. And then let me see. Oh, and here's another one we talked about was including a template handout for their posters. So for students can look at it and have a template of understanding. The template that will be given to students will aid with the design process as well as with the organizational layout. This will not only help students with IEPs, but all students in general. So we found that, kind of highly important is that not only will this help our students with IEPs, but all students in general. Being able to have a template and to use is huge, I think, when finishing up and completing assignments. And then also just the importance of separating students into groups based on grade, class participation, and work ethic. So we don't want all the students that maybe are very high achieved in the class. We don't want them all grouped up in one group and having the other students that maybe are not as focused in one. So we want to distribute those students into evenly classes where you have a person with maybe stronger in one area than another. And so we thought that could be a scaffold too as well. And then we just ended our closure with asking at the end of the method overview, each student will write a piece on a piece of paper what they think the best method to quit smoking is and why. So that's going to give us an understanding of what the students learned for the day. It's quick, it's short, it's simple. And so me and Tiffany agreed that could be a good, nice little exit slip to give to the students. So I hope you got a good understanding of kind of the things that we worked on and that we improved on. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you.